It's also not helpful to the process that everybody's, knifing each other in the back over there.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, Scaramucci also weighed in on the growing tension around Attorney General Jeff Sessions. He talked about this on Hannity last night. I got to get your reaction to this. Listen to Scaramucci last night on Fox.
I know both of them so well, and I know the president's upset right now, but my guess is that it will. But if it doesn't, Sean, it's up to the president. I applaud the Attorney General for going after the leaks, as it's super important for the entire administration. Even if we got the leaks, Sean, into the bell curve of other administrations, it would be way better for our administration. So we've got to get that done no matter what.
I'm not sure what the president is doing with his taunting of AG Jeff Sessions right now, Carl. But what's your take on all of this?
Well, look, I wrote about it in my Wall Street Journal column this morning. I called it stupid. Think about this. The president complains, rightly, about the lack of attention to his policy successes. But a large part of that is for him burying those news of good policy advances with unnecessary controversy. A week ago yesterday, on Wednesday of last week, he buried, in essence, the good news of Tuesday by giving an interview Tuesday night to the New York Times and blasting his attorney general. This was on the news was that the Republicans had seemingly lost the energy in the Senate to pass a health care reform bill. The president had called him down for a lunch, had resurrected the idea that senators walked out of that lunch renewed and re-energized and saying the president has given us a mission, we're going to go get it done. And that news was buried by an unnecessary controversy by attacking his attorney general. Jeff Sessions, under the law, had no other recourse except to recuse himself.
Really, though? I mean, did he really have no other recourse? I feel like he got bullied into recusing himself.
No. It's explicit. It's explicit. A federal law requires the Justice Department years ago to have established standards for recusal. One of those standards for recusal is if you are involved in a political campaign and played a principal role in a political campaign, and that campaign or people involved in that campaign are part of an investigation, you have to recuse themselves. He was a principal leader in the Trump campaign, the first and only member of the U.S. Senate to endorse him, a senior advisor to the president in the campaign, and the campaign was under investigation. Just then Attorney General John Ashcroft had to recuse himself in the Valerie Plame incident for the same reason. I had been his campaign consultant, and I was involved in the Valerie Plame incident, so he had to recuse himself. So look, if he had not, he would be subject to all kinds of sanctions, and all kinds of questions would have been raised as to the propriety of the Attorney General not recusing himself.
Yeah, look, I think it's important to point out that if he pushes out Jeff Sessions, he's going to be without an AG for the rest of the year. We heard from Grassley yesterday. The senator said there's no time for another confirmation hearing right now. That means Rosenstein moves up to become acting AG, and he will be the enemy of Donald Trump.
Well, and I'm not certain he'll be the enemy, but you put your finger on it. If he fires Sessions, or if Sessions feels so humiliated he leaves, you think the last 6 months have been bad with the press? Wait for the next 6 months as he, A, attempts to find a replacement, and B, goes through a confirmation hearing that will last it through the end of the year and beyond, in which the Democrats will use every moment they can to trash this administration, distract the public, draw attention away from his policy successes, and wrap him up in the middle of something that stinks to high heaven.
I agree with you.
That's why it's stupid.
Yeah.
It's absolutely, I mean, look, he's upset, fine. Express your upsetness in private. Stop talking about it publicly. Let the focus go back on the things that you're trying to do. And do not create a crisis for your administration by forcing him out and going through a brutal battle, which may end up. Can you imagine what will happen in a confirmation hearing? Not only will Democrats ask tough questions of any nominee he's able to scrape up, but Republicans will as well.
Right. And then how about the governing? I mean, what happens throughout that time to sanctuary cities, to the immigration law? I mean, all of this stuff, it is so crazy to think. And then I'm wondering if Rex Tillerson is just sending him a message saying, I'm taking some time off right now. I'm not resigning, but I'm taking some time off right now. I don't know, because I think the other cabinet members are saying, this is how you're treating Sessions. So I understand you. But at the same time, Carl, I have to push back. This president is dealing with hatred on all sides. He's got the Democrats against him. He's got the Republicans. It's questionable whether or not the GOP actually wants this president to succeed. And then, of course, he's got the media not in his corner as well. So what is he supposed to do with all of these knives coming at him as these leaks are happening? What's the answer?
Well,
You're
look,
former chief of staff. What does he do?
two things. One is, don't start by taking it out on one of the most loyal people you have in your camp. I've known Jeff Sessions for decades. If you're in a foxhole and he said, I'm with you, you don't need to worry because he's with you. And for Donald Trump to take one of his most loyal, most fervent believers and take him and humiliate him like this publicly is a bad signal to anybody who supports Donald Trump. And second of all, get back to the business that the American people elected you to do and focus on that and stop all of these extraneous things. Focus on making our economy stronger, having paychecks grow, have job opportunities grow, greater prosperity, the economy growing at a bigger rate, do the things necessary to achieve that, and all the rest of this drama, this unnecessary drama, stop it.
Well,
because the American people have such hopes for his success.
He was effective in getting Jordan and others to do this investigation of the Clinton crimes and what went on in terms of conflicts of interest during the campaign. So that was, you know, maybe that was because of Donald Trump constantly talking about it.
Yeah, well, look, my personal view is move on. You know, this idea that he's tweeting this week that, you know, I want you to be investigating Hillary Clinton, that's unseemly. That's what happens in Latin American countries run by colonels in mirrored sunglasses. So move on from that. Focus on the big things. So should we just forget about it? The fact that she, you know, she did get $145 million to her foundation after selling 20% of the U.S.'s uranium. I mean, Yeah, look, I think it stinks. I think it's one of the reasons why the American people said we've had enough of the Clintons, and while we're nervous about this other guy, we're going to go with him. Right. And look, it's just, again, it's unseemly. He's president. Move forward.
Yeah, move on. Karl, it's great to get your insights as always. Thanks so much.
You bet.
Karl Rove joining us there.